Hear the sound, create a word, learn to read. If you are a teacher that is teaching reading, then you probably already know how important it is to learn phonics. If a student is aware of the sound they are hearing, it helps them encode as they learn to write or spell, and it helps them decode as they learn to read. The Elkonin Boxes are an important teaching tool that helps students break down words into their sound units. D.B. Elkonin created the theory of periodization of the mental development of children, or that development that happens in stages or compartments. His main areas of work include game theory, primary school education, developmental psychology, and psychodiagnostics. Elkonin first worked as a primary school teacher and at the Pediatrical College in Leningrad. He wrote his doctoral thesis on language development in school children after the Second World War, and he headed up the Laboratory for the Psychology of the Younger Child. What is phonemic awareness? Phonemic awareness is the understanding that words are made up of phonemes, or individual sounds of units, that influence the meaning of the word. For example, the word drum is made up of 4 individual phonemes, d, How can a teacher use them in their class, individually or with small groups, or even in a whole class setting? Why should a teacher use the Elkonin Boxes? Elkonin Boxes build phonological awareness skills by segmenting words into individual sounds or phonemes. To use Elkonin Boxes, a child listens to a word and moves a marker into the box for each sound or phoneme. In some cases, different colored markers may be used for consonants and vowels or just for each phoneme in the word. They teach students how to count the number of phonemes in the word, not always the number of letters, though there are ways they can be used for letter recognition as well. They help students better understand the alphabetical principle in decoding and spelling. How to use Elkonin Boxes. The teacher pronounces the word slowly, duck. And then, for example, they use the sounds to move the markers into the boxes, d, k. The basic process of using the boxes is to have the student count the number of phonemes in the word, not necessarily the number of letters. For example, you can see here, duck. They move the markers into the box. D, k. The teacher directs the student to slide one colored marker or cube or corresponding letter into each cell of the Elkonin drawing as he or she repeats the word. The teacher has many options when using these boxes. They can draw the boxes, they can go online and use toy theater. This is an interactive version of the boxes that is already set up for teachers. They can review words by using a screencast such as this to demonstrate the method they will use with the students and the standard they expect them to achieve. The use of these boxes can be incorporated as a portion of an overall literacy unit and used with various books. For example, in the book Mom and Dad are Palindromes. When a boy learns about palindromes, he begins to use them everywhere. This humorous tale introduces words and phrases that are the same when spelled and pronounced forward or backward. This series is a 5-part series. We will develop the method of using Elkonin Boxes and how to use them. We'll also discuss language essentials for teachers of reading and spelling, and then how to improve your instruction using multimedia blended teaching when teaching with Elkonin Boxes, and also how to create the interactive blended multimedia lesson for students that utilize the principles of Elkonin Boxes. This series will also be under the umbrella of the principles of DELT, Designing, Engaging, Learning, and Teaching, which has been developed and can be used with Elkonin Boxes, which are the foundation of a blended literacy lesson, but they can also be used as principles of how to create literacy lessons or any type of lesson overall. I hope you enjoy the series.